Hi, Westwood Community Church. Talking to you from my COVID hotel in my yard. I just got back today. So I'd like to give you my report. Boy, that was an amazing trip. So much happened. We brought in 5,500 eyeglasses, delivered at the cost of about $2,300, which includes all the shipping costs, taxes, and everything. Those same glasses have the actual real value of about $250,000 in Malawi. My time, we handed out just over 900 eyeglasses, which were sold at about $4 per pair. 62 of the glasses were given away to refugees who could not pay for them because they did not have any money at all. Although the bonus is, some of the people came the next week at church and gave what they had that they were able to pay because they were able to work, because they got the gift of sight back. The license we received from the health authority, which I was planning on when I got there, turned out to be so much greater than I expected. It was supposed to be a one-off license for one location, the refugee camp, but they love what we're doing so much that they gave us an open-ended license, which means we can set up clinic anywhere in the country, as many clinics as we want, with no extra charges. All we have to do is register, which is absolutely amazing. The first clinic will be formally opened next week in the Dzaleka refugee camp. The eyeglasses there will be sold for approximately $6 to pay for all the overhead and costs, and eventually be able to raise the money that they need to have to buy their own. The second clinic will be set up at the MB Ministry compound, which is about 30 minutes away. It's actually on the way to the airport, about 15 minutes away from the airport and half an hour away from the refugee. The glasses there will be sold for about $8 for the clinic, as in there's actually better potential to make more money in that site. It's just off the equivalent of their number one highway, and we're about 45 minutes away from the capital. We really have a great hope for that. Some of the things that we're bringing in also are sunglasses. One of the things that came out of the trip that was so positive is my friend and partner in this project, Lance Putman, who's a U.S. military epidemiologist. He just had brilliant ideas, and so many of the things that we will be implementing to make the project run so much better. His wife Jennifer, who is a trained counselor, just did an amazing job of walking alongside the women. I thought I did pretty good with I was getting about 200 people out for Sunday morning, but once the women heard Jennifer preach once for the women's group, they were getting well over 300 people. She just knocked it out of the park. So here's the things that are coming up. I have some work ahead of me with just organizing, making sure everything is put together for keeping the supplies going. We're running out of glasses faster than we expected. That's a good problem, so that means I need to get more orders in the pipeline. We're looking at expanding out into other countries like Tanzania, and we're really actually hoping to eventually get it back into Congo. This was a brilliant idea of the team themselves. What if they could use this as one of the tools to return them home to the country that they had to flee from? So, what are the next steps? Making sure that the team has the funds they need to get the clinics off and running. The cost for running the clinic in Dzaleka is not going to be a lot. I need to raise about $400 US so we can buy the tables and chairs and the other supplies that can stay at that site. We also want to raise money for sunglasses. I need to raise about $2,500 for 1,000 polarized sunglasses. This was something we heard time and time again from truck drivers and police officers saying, hey, do you have sunglasses? It's actually remarkably hard to get hold of sunglasses in Malawi. So this is another area that we can bring in income. And some of the other things to think about. Our camp worker in the Dzaleka refugee camp, Paul, he's a nurse who's been in the refugee camp for over 12 years. We need to do some paperwork so he can actually leave the refugee camp. A lot of complex things are going on right now all over the world within refugee camps, and that includes Malawi, where the government is forcing people to stay at the camp, and if they leave the camp for any reason, even if it's for church, they could pay up to a $200 fine, which is just enormous for them. So if we get the paperwork done for Paul, he'll be able to leave the camp and work at other locations, which also leaves him open for potentially traveling back from Malawi to Congo where he lived. And we're also going to start raising money for a little car. Right now we're using the Ministry Center car from the Mennonite Brethren. It's a big 15-passenger van and it doesn't get very good fuel mileage, and it's actually really needed for the ministry of the MB conference. They've been glad to use it because this has been a fundraising capacity builder. But if we were able to raise about $5,500, we could buy a nice little Toyota or Mazda hatchback, which is one, more economical, and two, can be the car for us setting up our mobile clinics in the future as we start to partner with Samaritan's Purse, who's really excited to be working with us. Well, there's so much more to say. Thanks so much. God bless.